Hey, it's Dr. Deal with 5 things that you can't control about people, so stop worrying about it. And remember, control is fear. When people can't control other people, there's fear that something's going to go wrong. So when you're trying to control other people, you're fearful of something. And that leads me to number one. You worry about if they like you or not. You know, everybody's not going to like you. I'm sorry to bust that bubble. But some people are just not going to like you instantly. Maybe you remind them of somebody from the past, or maybe your personalities just clash. And don't try to force that relationship. It's not going to go well. And that leads me to number two, whether people support you or not. A lot of us worry about people not supporting us, and we get all caught up and angry with somebody not supporting us. Applaud the people that support you, support them, and the other ones just leave them behind and move forward. And that leads me to number three. We worry about getting invited to things. You know, if your friend didn't invite you to a party, that tells you something right there. That maybe you guys aren't friends, and maybe, there's a disconnect in the relationship, and you have to be okay with not being invited to all parties. Um, and make your own party if you're not getting invited. And that leads me to number four. I think a lot of us worry about if people speak to us or not, And I did a video the other day where I talked about anxiety. Some people have social anxiety, so they may not speak to you in a social setting, but on a personal level, if you see them all the time and they just look you in your eyes and they keep moving, then there's a disconnect with that friendship. And again, if they're not man or woman enough to communicate the issue to you, then it's time for you to move forward and disconnect from that relationship. And that leads me to number five, worrying about if people stay in your life or not. That's a big one. A lot of people, they get disappointed when that person just disconnects. People are only in our lives to give us a lesson most of the time. If they stay longer than that, then you've got a connection and a bond, and be appreciative. But the ones that are gone, it's probably not a bad thing. You've probably used up all the relation time that you needed. You know what? This is my tips. So if you're struggling with relationships or having control over people, seek a therapist so they can help you understand what that's about.